Hello and welcome back to SimbaviTravels. And in this episode, I'm taking a trip to Switzerland with my mom, my aunt, and my sister. And we are flying from the Dusseldorf airport all the way to the Zurich airport. Now, if you have been following SimbaviTravels, you would know my love for sunsets. Whether be on land, whether be high up in the mountains, or whether be it in air, I love to capture them whenever and wherever possible. So, one such sunset happened on this flight, and it was just stunning. Just look at the clouds that we flew through and just look at those beautiful colors that fill the sky. And this was the view for my entire trip from Germany to the Zurich airport. It had hardly been a few minutes since our girl trip had begun, and you can see us already on our way to clicking a gazillion photos and capturing as many memories as possible. My mom and my aunt were just the best. So me and my sister were to drive them around Switzerland, and this was our ride, a BMW sedan. Absolutely perfect and absolutely comfortable for the entire journey that we were yet to take. So our first stop was of course for food. So we reached downtown Zurich and we walked the many streets, took in all the sun, and then we finally spotted a really nice Thai restaurant and we just sat there to eat up all the yum food. When in Zurich, you must get on the lake. And the best way of doing that is to get on a boat ride and enjoy the Zurich lake. It was a bright sunny day. Mom and aunt and everyone's tummies were full, and now it was just to soak in all of Zurich, see all the beautiful surroundings, the green hills, the beautiful houses, sip on some really nice champagne, and just enjoy the time with my girls, with my numero unos. I just love all of them, and it was such a treat to actually be in Switzerland in such good weather, enjoying our glasses of drinks one after the other, clicking photos and being mad. So once we were done riding around the Zurich lake in that beautiful boat, we head out to our first stop, which was going to be Engelberg, and that's where we had booked an Airbnb to stay a few nights. Now, this was Airbnb of choice. It was really beautiful by a nice river, very green, and it is the first time that my mom and my aunt were visiting Switzerland, and they were just in awe of all the green, all the mountains, the beautiful Swiss houses, the Swiss cows. Everything was so exciting and so thrilling that even the roads, just driving on the roads and seeing all of the scenery just made them ecstatic, and it was such a joy to experience them having so much fun. Of course, we crossed mountains with lots of beautiful views, snow-capped mountains, and finally got to our destination. And once we reached there, our Airbnb was just the cutest. It had a little garden on the back with lots of beautiful flowers, and it was such a blast to just enjoy the sun on the grass, click the ladies in their beautiful garments and smiles. It was just a treasure. So after our endless photo session at the Airbnb, it was now time to drive to Interlaken. And this is what the ride sounded like. Interlaken, one of the prettiest towns in Switzerland. It has an entire road full of little shops selling the best perfumes, selling the best watches. You have high-end designer shops. You have lots of people getting on for paragliding. You have people who are taking lots and lots of pictures across the squares. It is just so much fun in the air when you're in Interlaken. You can get on a buggy ride, and that's exactly what Mum and I and Mommy and my sister did. We got on a horse ride and we saw the entire town, and it was just lovely to see it with the footsteps of the horse in the background. So if the buggy ride was not enough for you, you can get on to this little train. Yes, you heard me right. A very tiny train. So after seeing Interlaken on a horse's back and then on that tiny train, me and my aunt wanted some more. We fell in love with the color of the water and the bridges, and we really wanted to stand by them and click tons of photos. So after a long day in Interlaken, we went home and rested at the Airbnb, only to start the next day at Mount Titlis. So we drove to Mount Titlis, we parked our car in the parking lot, got our tickets, and next we knew we were sitting in the cable car riding our way up to Mount Titlis. Now this is a much cheaper ride up to this beautiful scenery in comparison to going up to Jungfrau. Now honestly, I've done both, but to me, if you are on a budgeted trip and if you want the same amount of fun, the mesmerizing views of snow-capped mountains, I would personally recommend Jungfrau. And that's exactly what we did. And while we were up there, it was heavenly. You can see lakes of ice water. You can see down the valley with all the cows. And then when you're up there, it's all white. It's almost like you're standing in heaven with all of these snow-capped mountains around you. And we clicked tons of photos. It gets really cold up there. So one should definitely travel load up yourself with mufflers and with your knits and mittens and everything else that you can wear, because it's really, really cold. And when you're up there, Mount Titlis offers lots of activities, and one of those is, of course, climbing these stairs to different viewpoints and also walking on the bridges, which only me and my mommy ended up doing because the other two ladies were a bit scared.
Beautiful.
After a gorgeous day at Mount Titlis, the next day we decided to hit downtown Lucerne. And once you're at Lucerne, this is one of the most famous bridges that one always gets clicked in front of, and so did my ladies, and they looked beautiful. While we were there, we walked by to one of the cafes, and again it was time for some yummy food, yummy ice cream, and lots of drinks. While you sit at these lovely cafes by the river, you can people watch, and it is just so much fun to see all of these different tourists and locals walk by and sit and enjoy some of the really nice Swiss instruments that probably you would have never seen elsewhere. Once we were done sitting at the cafes, we walked around the river, and it was just so nice, so peaceful to walk these little alleys. We, of course, bought a few trinkets and famous magnets, and then we sat at this place and we laughed and we giggled and we enjoyed. And you have to see my very famous elephant butt dance. Yes, and that's what I do when I am having a blast. So after having done all that dancing and giggling, it was time to walk again. And while we walked, we got hungry. So we sat and we ate, only to witness the very amazing Pride Parade, which I had never seen before, and apparently is one of the big events that happens in downtown Lucerne, and we were just there at the perfect time. Just look at those crowds, look at the colors. Everyone is dressed in these exotic outfits. Everyone's looking dramatic and happy, and it's so much fun. They're all just so excited to be and to witness and to do whatever it is that their heart desires. And it was so much fun to watch. till we learned that it was time to leave and it was end of our trip. We sat on another plane and we flew back to Germany. Thank you viewers for watching yet another video at SimbaviTravels. Hope you enjoyed our trip to Switzerland with my girls, and I look forward to seeing you again on another video, another journey of SimbaviTravels. Good night. Thank you. Bye.